Hey everyone, we're live. What's going on? Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Azora Hype, and I'm joined here by the always handsome, lovely Helena von Landstein. What's going on, Helen?
I'm fine. I just do not see myself in the stream. It's a bit weird.
No,
Do
you're good
people
to go.
do people see me?
Yeah, people see you.
It's so weird because it's just the two of us, right?
Yeah, it is just the two of us this evening. There is no JR and Gemma. We'll explain why in just a second. But everyone in the chat, we got a little celebrating to do tonight. We got a little bubbly. I got some Moscato here, and you've got some champagne, and we're going to discuss why we're celebrating this evening. But hey, everyone in the chat, what's going on? Excited to be here, and this is going to be fun. We're going to, Helen, this is the last preview breakdown that we get. That's it. Game of Thrones is ending on Sunday.
Yep. It is. And the thing is, you guys always see it a few hours before me, and I'm so afraid that people spoil me and text me at night and be like, Cersei died, Jamie died. It happened.
Hail our Queen Cersei Lannister. That's why we're drinking wine.
I'm drinking champagne, which is kind of French wine.
Do you got a straw in there?
Yeah, sorry.
Wow,
it's not bad for the environment, kids, but yeah.
So I literally haven't had a drink. Oh my God, I haven't had one since before the season. So we're having a little fun. Of course, we just hit 40,000 subscribers. We're almost at 10 million views. We might even hit 50,000 this week, Helen. Things are going really good with the channel. And that's all because of these awesome people in the chat who have been subscribing, liking videos, watching videos. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to celebrate a little bit before Game of Thrones ends. I know the fandom is divided, but what we're here to do is we're here to preview the craziness that's going to happen in the final episode, Helen.
Exactly. So how do you want to start it? Do you want to do a little recap of what has happened? Or?
Yeah, let's start off. We're going to go back in time a little bit before we talk about the next episode because so many crazy things happen. These episodes have been jam-packed. Yes, I think we would be better off with 10 episodes for sure. But Helen, did you expect that one? Daenerys Targaryen, the words of Varys ringing true. Don't become the thing you've tried to stop. Don't become a tyrant.
Well, the moment before Varys got burned, and he said to Tyrion, "Well, I hope I was wrong." We all knew what was going to happen, right? At least I knew. But I'm not that surprised, and they've been teasing it, and I'm not. I mean, yeah, it's shit that everybody burned, but what did you expect, people? Did you expect she'd just kill Cersei and no one else dies? No.
She's technically breaking the wheel because she's gonna have to be stopped. And what I find really interesting is everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, the White Walkers are the big threat," and then we have literally Daenerys Targaryen who has nuclear weapons, and look at what happens, right? And yeah, obviously it has happened really, really fast. If we had 10 if both season 7 and season 8, I totally agree. If we had more episodes, it would have felt more organic. Less episodes is making it more difficult, I think, for people to absorb.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. I read so many theories and we heard all about the Mad King and everything. So a lot of people and reactions I saw, people were not really surprised Dany went all Mad Queen.
They were surprised at how fast it happened.
And how fast. But did it though?
Yeah.
I mean, she said in the beginning of the episode, she said to Jon, okay, then not violence. She said fear it is then? Fear. I think she said fear, right?
Because she has that conversation with Tyrion in front of the fireplace, which is very similar, right? Because obviously we know that Grey Worm and Daenerys made an agreement because they were talking in High Valyrian, and it was kind of a nod that they didn't want Jon to know anything. They weren't saying anything that was like super like Jon walked in right at the end of the conversation, but they had made this agreement.
Do you think so, or do you think he waited, like Grey Worm waited, and then when he saw she went all mad, then he started the
Well,
attack.
he knew that there was going to be a signal. Like they had.
She said, you will know when to
Yeah.
start. She said something like that. I just saw it once. Shame on me. Busy. I don't know how many times you saw it, but I saw all of you people's reaction videos. Shame.
Shame.
Yeah, no, totally.
Shame ring. But yeah, I think I mean she told him you will know when. So
yeah, it's been really crazy, Helen. Obviously, you're a big Star Wars fan. This definitely feels a lot like Anakin. What happened to Anakin Skywalker? We chronicled his journey, and then someone who had this immense power ends up taking this dark turn. And George R. Martin has always talked about a villain is the hero of the other side. A lot of people are still like in the fandom they're still in support of Daenerys because of everything that's happened to her and whatnot. But
and when you talk about Star Wars and the Chosen One, right? He brought in a kind Anakin brought as Darth Vader dying. He brought balance to he brought balance to the galaxy, right? Yeah. And Danny killed well, not Danny, but Danny helped. I mean, Arya killed technically the Night King, but Danny helped. Without her and the dragons, nothing would have happened. So she kind of brought balance to the Force.
It's really interesting. Let's skip ahead to the final scene of the episode. I did a video breakdown the other day of the significance of this, the symbolism behind this, and I've been finding this really.
Somebody in the chat says, Montmary, I received a raven from Varys. Cheers to that.
Cheers to Varys. By the way, Conleth Hill just did an absolutely fantastic job. His scenes, he was just a terrific actor. We can make the argument for so many of the people on the show, but his moments with Martha were touching. And did you catch she hasn't eaten yet, we'll try later? That was totally a nod that Varys was trying to poison Daenerys, by the way.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Which is why I believe he took off the rings. I think there might have been some poison pellets or something in there.
Yeah.
Definitely, he tried to burn the letter. And he definitely got some letters out. The Prince of Dorne probably found out. He probably got some out. And
would he care, though? Do you think the Prince of Dorne would really care? They never gave a shit who... I mean... You are with the one who has a dragon, right? I mean, why would you go against? I mean, yes, they never conquered Dawn, the Targaryens, not really, just by marriage.
They don't even really like Rhaegar, right? Because look at what he did to Elia Martell. We heard what Oberyn had to say about it, right? Yeah. I'm wondering if this is Oberyn's kid or not, or if it's someone else. Because Oberyn has a lot.
We will never know. All these, how I call them, sand people, water people, bye-bye. Although, where the heck is Yara? Will we see Yara again?
Yeah, I think so in the final episode. I think what we're going to have is the first half of the episode is going to be the conflict, and then we're going to have the epilogue, the how things get fixed.
But she'd be pro Danny, right? So she'd be on Danny's team 100%.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think she's going to be included into the final conversation where they separate the kingdoms again. We're going to talk about that in just a couple minutes, the idea of a council. But Helen, I want to jump. I have a couple of things to say about that final scene. And what I find really interesting is especially what because Melisandre talked about to Daenerys about how her and Jon both have a role to play, but she also made many connections with Arya, and obviously she told Arya that she has a role to play. And what I find really interesting is the Pale Mare. This is part of a book nod prophecy that Quaithe warns Daenerys about the Pale Mare and the Kraken and the Mummers, the Mummers dragon and all of that. But I can't help but wonder what Syrio Forel told Arya. There is only one God, and that God's name is Death. If they're trying to do the four horsemen thing, and the God of Death is killing the other horsemen, because we could technically, war is often depicted as red, and Cersei's wearing her red outfit. War is happening, and Daenerys is a conqueror, and the eyes that she's closing, maybe the 3 eyes that she closes are the other 3 horsemen. We can symbolize it, like take the symbolism in that way. So I found that really interesting. I still don't think that Arya is going to kill Daenerys, but I found that not interesting, the pale mare at the end of the episode.
Well, she trained a lot with that bow and arrow thingy. So
they've been teasing that like crazy, right?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, they haven't shoot dragons, but they could shoot dragon riders, right? So
you know what's really crazy too is we think about like, because that was an apocalyptic style event that just happened. Like the Battle of Winterfell, apocalyptic style of event. Also, Dany, what happened in King's Landing, that's an apocalyptic style of event. So the idea that the god of death is killing these other gods, like Arya killed the Night King, it probably won't happen in the books similarly, but for the show purpose anyways, I find it really interesting that the god of death is kind of picking off the other gods. So I don't know. There's a chance that Arya, I at least think that Arya is going to make an attempt on Daenerys because they're teasing that in the trailer. And if Arya's life gets put in danger by Daenerys, you better bet that Jon's going to pick Arya over Daenerys. If that situation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
and she even said to him, "Don't forget when they were standing in the Godswood." She said to him, "Well, we're the Starks," and she told him, "Yeah, you don't forget about that."
Because Sansa and Arya are playing good cop, bad cop. Sansa's like, you, and Arya's like, I respect that. Remember how she says that? She cuts off Sansa and she's like, listen, I respect that you made a pledge to Daenerys as your queen. I respect that. And then Sansa says, really? Like, she's like, you know, there's kind of like, listen, I don't trust Daenerys at all. Rightfully so. But, you know, I found that really interesting. And I do think that Sansa is going to rally the rest of the realm. I think she got a letter from Varys and the rest of I think Daenerys is totally screwed. She needs to make basically she has to have perfect decision-making to not die in the finale, which I think is impossible.
Yeah, I mean, if she would stay alive, well, the only thing is, which I could imagine, like she flies away on Drogon and is like, "Go fuck yourself, people of Westeros." Oh, sorry, I said fuck for
that's fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, so she'd just be, "Go fuck yourself, people. You hate me anyway. I'll go back to Marine, where people love me and sing songs about me." That would be the 1% thinks that might happen, but no, she'll die.
So people in the chat, there has been leaks all season. There was leaks before the season. Just be respectful of everybody else that's in the chat that's here to actually hang out and chat and, you know, like not take anything super seriously and just relax and have some conversations. Don't spoil anything for anyone.
Yeah, where are mods? I don't see any mods in the chat. Oh, OTDA is that?
Yeah, no, there's a bunch. There's just almost 1,000 people watching. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way. We do have a super chat before the stream, Helen, and it was me, Chris, to you. She says, thanks for all that you do. Keep up the hype and keep on making videos. Yeah. So a lot of people have been asking me the question of what's going to happen after Game of Thrones. We're going to talk a little bit about that after for sure. But don't fear. Hype and love is going to continue. So JR and Gemma are not here this evening. They both been working super hard on their own videos, and they're just super tired out right now. Helen, when we were having a private conversation earlier, Helen says, I'll jump in and we'll have some wine and we will discuss the evening. And Gemma and JR have got the evening off, but you still can find the links to their channels in the description of this video. So you guys know Gemma and JR, YouTube besties.
Hey, where's my channel with no videos? Excuse me.
Excuse me, Helen. And by the way, for those who don't know who this is, Helen has been a long-time friend of mine. She's been with the channel for a long, long time. We discuss things privately, like, you know, Star Wars and all sorts of stuff, and just life in general. But Helen is in the future, she's going to be the one who's collaborating with me on the Lord of the Rings videos when the new Lord of the Rings stuff comes out. So
yeah,
that's
and I have my Cantina Buzz. Go subscribe to Geek Chat One. I have since like a few months. We haven't done anything, but we had like 5 videos or something. And we have like a Star Wars podcast with JR and I, because me, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings, and actually Game of Thrones, put the shame bell on, is just my third choice if I had to choose.
So we got another super chat from Sylvia. And she says, Dany wasn't in control of Drogon, question mark. Never saw her after we see Raven circle the Red Keep. Bran controls Drogon, also Viserion in episode 3. So did Bran control Drogon in the situation? And I'm going to jump in on this one, and I'm going to say absolutely not. Drogon was feeding off Daenerys' energy, and we know that dragon riders and dragons have a bond together. So no, Drogon was being commanded by Daenerys. However, your question, Sylvia, could something in the finale? We've had this setup. So Jon pet Drogon last season, right? They had this setup that Jon is a Targaryen. Drogon sensed that Jon is a Targaryen. But let's say Dany goes super apeshit in the next episode. It's probably going to happen.
Well, he watched them. He's like, you're my stepdad now, because he watched them making out in front of that cave. So he knows him by more than Drogon probably wanted.
Could anyone else make a move on Daenerys? And the answer is probably no. So the only person that could probably get close enough to Daenerys if she's like doing bad things would be Jon. And I question
Tyrion.
Or Tyrion, because he's been close to the dragons before. I think Tyrion would be less successful because Drogon senses that Daenerys and Jon, or at least have feelings for each other romantically. But I think that's Sylvia, you're onto something there, and I do still think there's a possibility that Bran can somehow influence Drogon in the last episode, because I think that Bran foresaw all of this happening. I'm gonna release a video on it tomorrow, and I think we're gonna see something crazy. Not something super crazy, but I think there's gonna be a nod that Bran saw all of this happening in the last episode.
Yeah, 100%. And the question is, but Bran can't control him from Winterfell, right? So what is happening? I assume Sansa and all the armies, she's gathering the Vale, the Riverlands, what's left, I don't know. Yeah. She's the Umbers. Are they still alive? Is somebody still alive, right?
Oh, I don't know. I think the North is just going to be the North. You know what I mean? Lord Glover wasn't in support of Daenerys, so we can.
Yeah, the Glover bitch.
But the North, yeah.
Yeah. So she'll run south, and especially maybe after she got the Raven, and I think Bran will accompany her. And he can't just be the weirdo kid in the wheelchair. There needs to be something, please.
Big time foreshadowing, by the way, that the Hound in his last moment. By the way, I thought it was amazing. Their last conversation happened exactly where Arya left him to die on the map. If you guys go watch that scene again, Westeros also gets split when the commotion is happening, the chaos is happening. So I think Westeros will be split, which is also some foreshadowing. But the really interesting thing is that Arya thought she was going to kill Daenerys. Close another set of eyes, right? That's not the other queen she has her eyes on now. She has a new name on her list. And Sansa told Jaime, said that she wished that she could be there for Cersei's execution. Yeah. So maybe that's foreshadowing for someone else's execution, I think. Because if Daenerys puts Sansa and Arya's life in danger, I think that Jon's just going to say, you know what? Okay, you just burned King's Landing. I have to end this right now.
Yeah.
But we got to so Sylvia, did you make the same donation twice? If you have another question, just throw it in the chat. One of the mods will.
Yeah.
Sylvia, just get another question, we'll answer it for you. One of the mods will get it to me, and we'll make sure we answer it for you. So we got Nicholas Ferrer. Could Arya use her bow to kill Dany and/or Drogon? You know what would be really interesting, Helen, is if Dany died in the same way that Ygritte died. Wouldn't that be crazy? Because Ollie killed the Ygritte with the bow, right? And
yeah,
like I don't see that happening, because I think that we're going to see that Jon was the prince that was promised after all, and he's going to have to sacrifice Daenerys like Anissa needs to sacrifice. So we're going to see that.
Yeah, and he needs a job except screaming at a dragon. So he needs a job in this season. So I think it will be him. It would be weird because Arya and Dany, they don't have a relationship. She already got her big hit with the Night King. I don't think it's... Although, I mean, with the green eyes, and then people were posting, and Dany was portrayed with kind of green eyes.
Yeah.
She doesn't have green eyes. That's Lannisters.
No, and well, the wildfire went off, so her eyes in the situation when she was looking over King's Landing may have became green because wildfire was going off.
Wildfire,
but that's very loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what else? So in the last, there were some really, I mean, there were some pretty touching scenes for sure. The Jaime and Tyrion last scene was super touching, even though Jaime decided he was going to go back to Cersei. I know a lot of people are saying his character has been assassinated.
Yeah, and you know what? I loved 90% of all this season, but I didn't get, I mean, hello, Jamie, my brother. I didn't get people who don't know me, I love Cersei.
Helen has literally been talking privately. He's like, yeah, Jaime Lannister at Con of Thrones. He's like,
hello.
Hello, Nikolai. So go ahead.
Hi, Nikolai. No, but seriously, yeah, the Jamie arc, I didn't get. I'm sorry, and all the explanations they had in the after, when they have these interviews with Dan and Dave, I didn't get it. I was like, no, but that's weird. It's like going back to somebody in an abusive relationship. I didn't get it because then they could have left the Brienne thingy out, because then it would just have been he wanted to fight for the living because Cersei and Baby.
Which he did, yeah.
Yeah, which he did. But then leave the Brienne shit out because they portrayed it like there is something and he kind of loves her or whatever. In another life, he would love her. Leave that out then. Same with the talk of Jon and Dany about the baby. Like, who told you can't get pregnant? Now, what was that for? I don't get it.
I think there's a big chance, by the way, that Daenerys Targaryen is pregnant.
And she tells him when he stabs her, she tells him, by the way, I'm pregnant.
I don't know if Jon, like if it's ever going to be revealed. If you follow Gray Area on her Twitter, she had released a picture, and it shows the front shot of when Daenerys has her hair let down, and because the Dothraki braids are symbolic of victory, right? Like they keep.
Yeah. She didn't have any when she was at the window, right?
Yeah, she let them down. So, but the front shot of that, if you go to Gray Area's Twitter, who's awesome, by the way, she's going to be on a panel with us at Con of Thrones, the Game of Thrones comedy panel. She has a spot, and it looks like I think Daenerys is pregnant. And I think that's going to make things even more tragic because Jon said that he never fathered a bastard. So things are going to be so tragic in the end. It's going to really suck.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Now I don't want to see it. I just want to, in my head, it just stays open. Like, this could happen. This can't.
So we got another donation, Helen. You know what we need to do? We got to put a little Gandalf Sachs guy because all the support that's been happening for the channel, by the way, we just got 40,000 subscribers and we're almost at 10 million views on the channel. So it's been absolutely crazy. So what we're going to do, and this is for everybody that's not just everybody that's donating, but everybody that's liked the video or commented or subscribed. This is for you. We're going to do a little cheers for you.
Drink.
Woo! Thank you very much, everyone. So cheers to all of you. But Mon Mary has a question. Bronn could kill a dragon with the crossbow. Jon kills Dany. Arya goes west to Westeros, and Jon goes north. I mean, the conversations between Jon and Maester Aemon are really important. I think that Maester Aemon tells him a Targaryen alone in the world is a terrible thing. So for Jon to be the last one, let's say if Daenerys has to die, that would be pretty tragic for Jon, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. I don't think he will die. He will end up, and he won't be king. He'll end up at the wall with the
Tormund
pet.
Yes! I want to see Tormund again, but I don't think we'll see him again.
We won't see him. It will just be like he will leave on a horse, the lone horseman going north. That will be it. And I hope, my dream final shot, what it would be dragon eggs hatching because of, I don't know, some fire somewhere. Please make it happen. I came for the dragons. I stayed for the dragons.
Do you think Bronn, so touching on the other 2 points that Mon Mary wants to talk about, Bronn does, no, that's cool. Does Bronn have a big part to play in the final episode?
No.
I mean, he's going to make an appearance probably. Tyrion is still around, so we'll see.
Yeah, but it was
he's on a castle. He's on a castle.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be, you know, like the comic relief. Like we'll never get to hear the story, like the
Yeah,
joke, the
he'll get
honeycomb,
cut off
whatever.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the Bron part. I don't think he'll have why. It doesn't make any sense. He won't kill anybody.
You know, we could see a similar ending scene for Jon and Arya. She says Arya goes west of Westeros. We could see because that horse, like her riding away, I think was foreshadowing that she's never returning to Winterfell. Everyone,
Yeah,
she
no, she'd be like that Alyssa Silverman, whatever her name was, woman, you know, checking out the map of that world.
Westeros. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lady Crane. Lady Crane was the one that
Oh
suggested
yeah,
that.
sorry. Who was Alyssa
But
Silverman?
I think that Jon and Arya will have similar end scenes. They will like be like riding to
Yeah,
where their destinations are.
yeah.
It'll be and we know that George loves the scouring of the Shire and Lord of the Rings. So it will symbolically be like Frodo and Gandalf leaving, but it'll be sadder. Thank you, Mom Mary, for the donation, by the way. Geez, everybody's so hyped in the chat. We got 1,600 people here, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's really fun. Sorry, I'm sorry, but it goes so fast. But there are so many fun comments. Yeah.
Oh, we
Let me
got
ask a question.
Danelle Peoples. We got to go the Clegane Bowl.
Clegane
Bowl. Helen, are you doing the JR? Yeah, the duo. So yeah, So we'll talk about the Clegane Bowl right after what Helen wants to talk about Danelle. But what were you going to say, Helen?
No, I was just saying that there are so many fun comments in the chat, but it's going so fast. I try to focus on one, but you go with the Clegane Bowl. It's what we've all been waiting for. I saw people who have I watched some reaction videos, and a few of my colleagues they had like foam fingers saying Clegane Bowl. It was so fun. And on Monday they came to the office with those foam fingers saying Clegane Bowl, and they partied. It was fun.
So Helen, tell everyone what you do really quick, because you work in media.
Yeah, I'm a TV producer for like Europe's biggest channels in Germany, and I produce all these fun trailers you see for shows, and I do
like if a movie's gonna come on, you'll produce a trailer like
yeah.
oh, like they're gonna be showing it at this time this week, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, well, the cutters cut my trailers, but I do all the strategy, the marketing strategy behind new formats and formats we have to make you people tune in my movies and my shows. For Sat.1, anybody who I'm from Germany, if you couldn't have guessed.
Helen does have an accent.
Yeah, it's not that strong. I lived in the UK for a really, really long time.
It's okay. I have an accent. I say awesome. I say iron.
Well, you're
Canadian and R. Everybody always there's so many people who point on the channel. You can't fucking pronounce iron or Arya. Shut up. I'm French Canadian. Leave me alone. I don't give a fuck. So we got some more super chats. By the way, we're gonna talk Danelle. We're gonna talk about the Clegane Bowl, because that's last scene with Arya and the Hound was amazing. We got it. So we're in the side chat here. Let me scroll up. Shannon, what did Varys hear in the flames? We're never gonna find out, Shannon. But I think it was something magical. I don't know if George will ever touch on it in the books. He loves to leave out shit like that. I don't know if we'll ever hear about it. But what did he hear in the flames? Something about Daenerys and dragons, or the White Walkers, and his death, related to his death. Carrie says Jon versus Dany's champion trial by combat. Dany loses. Like Dany becomes a prisoner of war. They let her baby be born. I don't know. So like Grey Worm, he went apeshit last episode, right? So
yeah,
and he threw the spear, and he was a big part of the reason why, because the Lannister soldiers, they submitted. And Grey Worm was like not having any of that. I'm not saying I blame him, because Missandei was the love of his life was beheaded right in front of him. I'm not justifying that, but I'm just saying,
just to say, like the Dothraki, like the 6 apparently who were left, now we were like, I don't know, 500, whatever. Thank you. That was awesome, Dothraki and King's Landing. I loved it.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is some of these conversations are like, no, this character was wrong. Bobby B saying, Robert Baratheon saying, yeah, we gotta kill Daenerys, and like people being wrong, like people that we thought were right or wrong, like oh man, like all of these things, like the circular nature of the story and the significance of people's words, like oh, we thought that character was wrong. Daenerys burns King's Landing, like just so messed up. So I don't know if there might be like Daenerys might try to kill Tyrion in the next episode. So if there is a trial,
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure because I mean those guards, they, you know, in the end, those guards must have told Grey Worm or whoever, and he'd be fucked. He'd be on trial.
because
100%.
Tyrion was like, my rank is higher than yours. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna know about that, and it just we needed 10 episodes to see. We needed more episodes to see her really go down like this.
And can we please all say whose fault was this? Sansa. You know, I do not like Sansa. I'm not a Sansa hater. I wouldn't like. I want her to die. Yeah. But you know, oh my god, bitch, she's the new Littlefinger, and I don't know.
You know what though? I'm gonna disagree with you on that because yeah, she was being a bitch about certain things, but she's also been through so much, and she does care about people despite playing this new game that she knows about.
No, like, that's game playing. That's not. No. Come on. She put Jon also in danger.
Yeah, you know, she has made questionable decisions. I'm not saying everything she's done is acceptable. I'm just saying I understand some of the decisions that she's making.
Yeah.
We got a couple more donations. We're gonna continue to have this. No, it's cool. We got Helen. We got lots of time. And thank you everyone for joining us. By the way, DM Voiles with the $2 donation. If you got a question, let us know. The Fearless Mermaid, hype and love. Thank you very much.
Yay!
And Danelle Peoples, we're still getting to the Clegane Bowl. I haven't. You better bet I haven't forgot about that. Danielle Montoya says, "Howdy, super glad. See you keeping it positive. Some are negative now, so when we see secondary characters again, Samwell Tarly, Robin, Aaron, and Tormund. I don't know if we'll see Tormund again, but Samwell for sure.
Sam, right? Yeah, 100%.
I think the final scene of this series could be Samwell writing the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, that'd be yeah, and you know he has the baby, so he stands for the people who make it, for the people who survive, and yeah. So
and history is often written by the winners. And the last conversation between Sam and Jon, "You're the best friend I ever had, Jon," and Samwell's crying.
Yeah,
because he knew that was. He might never see Jon again. Like Jon could still die, by the way, everyone, to protect Arya or Sansa or something like that. But I don't know that we're ever going to get Sam and Jon again, unfortunately. I think that was their final goodbye, everyone. Same with Tormund and Ghost.
So, but is he still in Winterfell, or where did he go? Did he go to Old Town? What's happening in Old Town, by the way?
You know what's crazy, too? You know what I could see discussed in the next episode, Helen, is Daenerys is so threatened by Jon's claim. And Jon told her Samwell and Bran were the ones to tell Jon. Sam mentioned he needed a pardon from the Citadel. So what if Daenerys threatens the Citadel, right? Because they know they have information about, because Samwell told Jon that he got information from there. So I don't know if Daenerys is going to like make threats about that in the next episode. That's something to consider though, because she already burned Sam's family, and Sam was definitely not liking that.
Yeah, but then again, you know, we never saw her interact with religion. That was always Cersei, you know, like Cersei burned down. I don't know. I think it's weird. I want to have a storyline in, but I think it's just one episode. I don't think it will.
Yeah, there's not enough time to go over everything, everyone.
Yeah. Oh my God, George just sent a super chat. George
I'm not reading it out. You're reading it out. I'm done with these comments.
First of all, y'all, I can't say that. George think Arya is still the wife. That's his theory. By the way, George loves the sand snakes. He wants to bang the sand snakes or whatever he wants to do with them. And will you be able to prove that Arya is not the wife by the end of the show?
Oh my God!
Do you know what? I heard crazy theories when you saw
Time
Jamie with the two perfectly good hands. Like people were saying that was Arya, but it can't be, right? Because she was riding away on her white stallion.
I'm tempted to time out one of my best friends in the fandom, people, George Sartien, just for that goddamn wave comment. I've had enough, George. But no, seriously, I appreciate the donation. We love George. He's been a big supporter of the channel and big reason why we've been able to do a lot of the things we've been able to do on the channel. So, George, thank you very much, man. So let's get back to Danelle, people. It says we said we would talk about the Clegane Bowl.
Yeah.
My favorite
Clegane Bowl.
Here we wait. We're gonna do it again.
Clegane
Bowl. So thank you very much for that, Danelle. So my favorite scene of the episode, obviously, because I'm biased, was definitely the final Arya and Sandor scene. It was really important. Like I said, they were on the spot in the map where Arya left Sandor to die, and it was symbolic because not only did it mirror when Arya said goodbye to Nymeria, Sandor said almost the same thing, but Sandor gave Arya the path to choose life over death. And without Sandor doing that, Arya definitely would have died. So what were your thoughts on that conversation?
Well, first of all, I screamed out when she said Sandor because that was the first time she said his name. And like, nobody called him Sandor. Yeah, that was really cool. I almost cried. But
I watched the episode twice. So I watched it initially once before we went on Gemma's channel, and then I watched it the next day, and then the next morning, I put up a Clegane Bowl video on the channel. So some of you have seen it, I'm sure. But I went and I watched that scene like 30 times, and I was just like I still had to stop editing my video because I was like just so emotional because obviously I wanted Sandor to find peace, but his words were like Arya is going to be able to carry those words with her because Sandor is like, listen, there's not another end for me right now. I have to deal with this. But you can still regain some innocence, Arya. And I'm telling you. And when he put his hand behind her head, like lovingly, I was like, oh my, that was like, if you come with me, you're going to die. I was just like, oh my God. Like Sandor was saying, I love you, Arya. I don't want you to die with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like the talk with Sansa the episode before in the hall. Yeah, he loves those two girls.
And for Sandor too, like he was alone a lot this season, right? Like he wasn't interacting with a lot of people. But for Arya to say, Sandor, thank you, and him be thanked by for it, because he's like Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. He has a nickname, the Hound, right? Which he doesn't like, obviously, but for him in that moment, it's like this absolution where he's like, yes, I am Sandor and I have to deal with my brother, right? Like I am, like in that moment, it's like it's forgiveness for him. You know what I mean? Like for him, it's like this thing where he's like, okay, I know I'm going to die, but at least I know that someone loves me truly for who I am. And it's like Westeros is such a fucking dangerous place. Like, I don't know. I really love that scene. Like there wasn't a lot of the Hound this season, and there wasn't a lot of time to do a lot with the Hound, but I thought that his scenes were fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the best scene was when Cersei, when the mountain went ape shit, and Cersei was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go, people. Bye. See you never."
The Drake meme where he's like, the Drake thing where he's like, no, like Cersei was basically like Drake. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna push you two big fellas aside.
I haven't seen that one, but it was good. It reminded me, the beginning with all the flames and the light and everything. It was like Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting. It was, and you
have the higher ground. Like
we had the higher ground, and oh my God, that was so good. Yeah, it looked visually, it looked a lot like that scene.
So for me, some people commented on the video, they were like, yeah, like the Clegane Bowl was awesome. And the whole Hound laughing during the Oberyn moment, he's like, he's just like, fuck it. He's getting Oberyn, and then, and he dies by fire, which is poetic, right? But the one thing that I don't care. I'm still on the prophecy matters, gods matter bullshit in the show. And it was so interesting because, Beric had this role of keeping Arya alive to kill the Night King. And I know a lot of people have criticized that, but like Sandor, being kissed by fire, this is kind of his moment to keep Arya alive, and maybe is enabling Arya, because Beric enabled Arya to survive with Sandor, but maybe Sandor's enabling Arya to kill Daenerys, which is like this connection thing, right? Because Sandor dies by fire, and Beric enabled Arya to help kill the Night King. So I don't know if that's a thing. I'm probably reading too much into it, but you guys know I love to theorize and look into things. So
no, and it's kind of your job, so it's all good. I mean, I had the theory. We chatted about this. I said this to our group with Gemma and Robert and all the people, and I was like, my theory is Cersei, because normally in like the real world, in the Dark Ages, Middle Ages,
real world,
you were not allowed to kill a king or a former king. I mean, Elizabeth did that, but Mary was kind of
Mary the Queen of
doing
Scots,
shady stuff and whatever.
He had a really good claim to the throne, by the way, Mary.
Exactly. But normally you don't kill, you're not allowed to kill or execute kings. So you just jail them and then kill them with a pillow or whatever, or starve them to death or whatever. And I was like, okay, if Dany gets Cersei, she has to be alive, and then Cersei becomes a nun in a monastery because she loves nuns. Cersei loves nuns. And then we have Mother Cersei. It would be my perfect ending for her. Like the wine drinking, wine producing nun, miserable.
So since Helen's drinking out of the bottle, I'm going to do it as well. Helen, let's cheer. Let's cheers everyone in the chat, and everyone, sincerely, really appreciate your support. We're going to continue doing videos, but cheers to all of you for supporting the channel.
Yay! Champagne for the brain.
It's all in my beard. I need to do a trim. I'm getting my haircut next week in a trim.
You know what? I want to read out some names in the chat.
Yeah,
so fast, and I literally know no one. I saw the Fearless Mermaid. I don't know. It's so fast. Chrissy Walton is in here. OTDA. Mother of Krakens. Maud Mary. I know Maud Mary. But so many new people. I think LML was in the chat before. I'm not sure if he's still here.
Let's do this, because I know some people might privately message me and say, hey, the live chat isn't for me. I just like to lurk and I like to listen, or I listen with a friend or whatever. But if you're new to the channel, just know that it's super cool. We love the fact that you're here discussing this stuff with us, and our mods. We try to keep it as clean as possible. But everyone's welcome here. Not everyone's going to agree on everything. We're okay with that, but we have as much fun as we can here. And
we're the positive ones. Cal and I are always like I don't know what it is, but
maybe
it's just the alcohol for me. But we take, we try to take a look
who made a really great comment on Twitter the other day, and I don't want to throw shade at anyone, but Aziz says, I don't know too many people who can be objective when they're angry, and for me, I've made this promise to all of you that I would try to give the best content possible. Like there's a lot of things that I don't like in the season, but I don't feel like it's necessary for me to just do a 15-minute video just shitting on the season. Like, yeah, I'm disappointed that there's no fucking 10 episodes, everyone. But I feel like I owe it to all of you that to look at the things that I feel like are important that could still matter. And, we're still going to get the books. And everybody's been asking me the question, hey, Kyle, what the hell is going to happen with the channel after the season? Well, I'll tell you what. I've been talking with the patrons of the channel. I've been chatting with a lot of you in the comment section. I'm going to do book stuff. I'm going to cover Fire and Blood. You can see Ghost here. I'm going to pet him because he's a good boy. He's the bestest boy. I'm going to do Fire and Blood stuff because I was going to do it before the season, but I wanted to focus on the show. So I'm going to do Fire and Blood stuff. So announcement, you're finding that out now. Winds of Winter sample chapters. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to do an audio only podcast. JR and Gemma and Helen and other people are going to be part of that. But I'm going to do a Game of Thrones rewind. I want to go back and look at some of the favorite episodes from Game of Thrones and discuss that. So Game of Thrones stuff, content is still happening on the channel. Promise you that. But I'm also going to be doing other stuff. Marvel, The Expanse, covering Lord of the Rings with Helen and other stuff. So Yeah, I enjoy this way too much. You're like, Kyle, are you quitting? I'm like, have you seen how many videos I've been releasing? Are you
Kyle is
kidding me?
retiring now. Official announcement.
No.
Kyle is retiring
Do you
now.
see how much energy I have right now?
Yeah,
I literally need to release my energy somewhere. And for me, that's my outlet is videos. And I love making videos. So I'm not going anywhere. And I hope you're all happy with that.
no, I get. No, we love the positive. You know, the thing is, hate and all that shit doesn't make you younger or prettier or happier. Hate is shit. So just enjoy it for what it is. Yes, you can say I didn't like this, I didn't like that, but don't hate. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm not a hater. I'm just.
And you know what's crazy? I think that let's talk about this expectations. Our expectations have been so high because season 3, the Red Wedding, all of these things that
Well,
we've
but
got.
the thing is, it's your fault. You know, it's you as the creators. The thing is, if this wouldn't all, you and other people wouldn't have channels, I would be waiting 2 years. Maybe I would have some theories in my head and talk to my 2 friends who watch it, but that would be it. But now I'm watching like a crazy person, like everybody else in this chat, probably watching all these theory videos, talking to people who are like-minded, going to geek chat on Facebook and whatnot. And the thing is that so you spend so much time with this, so you have expectations, and I think that's a problem. If it would be just waiting 2 years for a series, like a lot of other people do who are now not as unhappy as some others are, it would be easier. But
you know it's crazy. My hometown is really small. People, we have like 60,000 people, I think, maybe 65,000 people, and a lot of my friends, like, I have people that I can watch it with, but obviously I'm doing analysis and I'm working and stuff. But more and more people have been like, Kyle, I watched your video, or I'll go in public and be like, hey, like, what did you think of the last episode? I'm like, this is crazy that Game of Thrones has permeated the whole fucking universe. You know what I mean? It's like every single culture in the planet, man.
yeah.
Like, I had someone message me from Ukraine and Iraq, just like having conversations with tons of different people. That to me is so inspiring. The fact that someone would reach out halfway across the world that like have a conversation about like a specific character or something.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that with that. Like, I grew up reading comics and like Marvel and like it's huge, but like I've never seen anything affect people like Game of Thrones. I never really.
Yeah, it's very engaging, and I think a lot of people found each other through this and through fandoms and whatnot, and we should celebrate that, finding each other, finding other, because I think I said that on your stream and other streams a lot of time. Like I just know lawyers and bankers and those kind of people, and they think I'm insane, and now I've found my people, through these things. And
that's how we met each other, Helen.
And I think a lot of other people feel the same, and we should celebrate that and not, oh my god, there was a Starbucks cup. Yeah, it's cool. I had a laugh about it, but
I love coffee, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect my life. So
Rick
shut the fuck up.
Rick Hoppy, by the way, who was in the chat earlier, a patron of the channel, Maester of Coffee. Thank you.
He should really change his name to Maester of Coffee, so we recognize him in the chat.
But it is true what you're saying, Helen. Like, so many of us, like everybody in the chat, we're here right now. We're all together. Like, some people are posting stupid shit. We're not paying attention to it. But like, all of us are pretty much here together for the same thing. And it's crazy if we think about it. Like, I never thought that I was going to do videos like this. Like, I've always enjoyed entertainment and movies and that. And I've always, loved reading books. I read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit growing up and all that stuff. And now it's just like this hyper-focused thing that we have because of the tools we have at our disposal with YouTube and our phones and all of these different apps and stuff. So it's a really cool time that we're living in. We're living in this like really unique period of human history where we're absorbing all of these awesome shows and movies and sharing it together and stuff. So I find that really cool. So we have a few more donations because we went on a fun rant there. Now people's, at least Ilaria Sand won't have to watch her daughter's Rod anymore. Yeah, she's dead. They're not keeping her alive.
She dead. Like all the water people except Yara, and she I hate the water people. Don't be water people. Lion people don't do water people. By the way, okay, Jim, no, we need to talk about this. When you read out the super chat, Jamie and water people, Europe, what was happening? I didn't get that. Like, does he love her? Like, I mean, Europe, what is happening? What was that?
I don't know, man. Euron Greyjoy was an absolute meme in the show.
But he's insane. Like, does he love Cersei or what was it? I didn't get it.
By the way, can we get like Helen? Your hair is on point tonight. We're gonna do an air horn for it. Helen's hair is, I don't know, it's no Clegane Bowl, but
yeah, I couldn't put on makeup, so I did my hair for you. I could pick between one.
But by the way, Helen and Gemma are like my sisters, so just relax, everyone.
Yeah.
And JR is like an older brother, but yeah. Thank you.
I'm very married, by the way, because people
married.
have been commenting in the chat. I'm very married. Thank you.
So one thing about Illyria real quick is that they said that Cersei, we got to remember that conversation. She said that, you know, she tried to hunger strike that she would feed her. So like this is the worst kind of torture. So thank you for that, Danelle. Billy Grant, Kyle, ignore the haters. You and the rest of the hype squad are the best. Hype and love. Thank you, my man, Billy. We appreciate that. That's pretty, I mean, you tell me all the time, be a lion, people.
By the way, Kyle wants to get he sent me, I'm not sure if he was drunk, but he sent me a message. I want to get a tattoo, Helen. And it says, be a lion, people.
So everyone, I have a few tattoos. They're hidden. We have one on my arm here. It's Sanskrit. It says, the path to enlightenment is through compassion, which I believe. But, so I told Helen, well, on one of our streams, she was like, yeah, don't be a water people, be a lion people. And then like we were having a conversation privately and I got this comment that was like really, really rude. And then Gemma was like, don't worry. Like, do lions care about the opinions of sheep? And then Helen said, don't be a lion people right after that. And I'm like, shit, I'm getting that shit tattooed like right here or something. But I actually want to get a Lannister lion tattooed here. I'm blonde, my hair is messy as crazy, but yeah, I'm blonde like a Lannister lion, so I think I'm gonna get a lion tattoo and be a lion, people. It would be really dumb, but whatever, it's pretty funny.
I love that. A few of us had some bets. I mean, I don't have tattoos, I won't get tattoos, but a few of us had some bets, right, about tattoos. Who's getting tattoos? I do not remember.
Well, Sansa betraying Jon was one. I have to get an ass cracking tattoo if that happens, right? I don't.
Was that betraying? Kyle, what did
I don't know. I don't know. Like, what was? I have to go back and look at what was actually discussed through all this shit, because I don't know if I want a Kraken tattoo on my ass, but I will honor that shit if it happens.
You will see it here on this channel. Kyle, I'll do a live stream.
Yeah, from Con of Thrones. My hometown, Carrie says, my hometown is 600. 60,000 people is the city. Thank you very much, Carrie. Star Direwolves, what if Dany was warned about the houses that will enter? Imagine if Tyrion emerges from a fire unburnt. I don't think we're going to see that, but Quaithe did warn Daenerys. And Jorah was there, so that's really interesting. But she did warn her in the books about the Pale Mare, the Sun, the Mummer's Dragon, the Lion and the Griffin, and the others. So she had also, I mean, the Dark Kraken, the Dark Flame, and the Kraken. So I think we had a lot of things that were confirmed in the last episode, right? Like Arya reaching out to the horse was very similar to Dany reaching for the Iron Throne, the House of the Undying Vision. So there's some things.
Just the third betrayal is missing, right?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If we look back at the Helen, if we look back at the Jon Dany conversation where she's like, I beg you not to tell anyone. And
and
the
she
family
said
love.
She said you betrayed me.
Right. So and then we had the conversation in the last episode. So I think that, unfortunately. Oh, Hermione, you're getting made into a moderator. She's great. We got a few more donations that we're behind on. Thank you for the generosity, by the way, everyone. Paige Roberts, I got the sun glaring in here. I want to keep the windows open though, so I'm trying to read. I have to look down to read things. Paige Roberts says, one thing you have to see in the last episode for me, Jon saying Dracarys. Woo! I don't think that's in Jon's nature. Melting the throne, though, she says. I do think that's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, we saw what we didn't saw, but in the books, Rhaenyra Targaryen, she was killed by a dragon, by dragon fire. It was not her dragon, but it happened before. So yeah,
You meant Rhaenyra, right?
Rhaenyra Targaryen. Yeah. So the thing is, I don't know. I don't think Drogon would listen to Jon and kill Dany. I don't think that could happen.
The only way I could see that happening is that Bran enters Drogon. But
That's true. That's true.
But would Bran? So the thing about Bran, and I'm doing a video about this tomorrow, and it's gonna blow your minds, people. Like it goes all the way. Like Bran has influenced a lot, but Bran hasn't really like every conversation that we're getting in season 8 from Bran Helen has literally been cut off. And what does George R. Martin say about? Like we have narrators that are not reliable, but what did he say about Littlefinger and Varys? If they were narrators or POV characters, they would have so much information that they would spoil specific parts of the story. And that's where we're at now at Bran, right? And I have a few things that I'm going to talk about. And the one thing I find really fucking interesting is when Tyrion's talking about to Bran and he says, oh yeah, like his wheelchair, he talks about Darren, which was someone that Blood Raven interacted with. And we know the Three-Eyed Raven and Blood Raven are different in the show and the books, but I think there's something interesting going on there in the Three-Eyed Ravens being all one consciousness. Something's going on there. I don't want to spoil the video tomorrow, but yeah, it's Bran knew that a lot of the shit was. Why did he give Arya the cat's paw dagger? Why did he have all these? Like, why did he let Jon choose for him to reveal the information? There's a lot behind all of those conversations.
And again, the Tyrion and Bran chat, was that useless? What did they talk about? If Bran dies, but why would he die now? I thought he would die in Winterfell. Tyrion would new stuff. I don't. What is happening there? Was it just a filler? That's weird.
You know what's really well? Isaac Hempstead, right? Pardon me, the bubbly's getting to me. I'm getting a little bubbly.
Yeah, I'm a bit drunk. I didn't have dinner, I had champagne for dinner. Hey, living the life.
But one thing. So what were we talking about right before this? I lost my train of thought after you're drinking out of a straw of the champagne. So we were talking about Bran, his decision-making process, and like what they're actually revealing that Bran is doing. So I think that we're going to find out more. You know what? I actually think that we may get a vision in the next episode. And it could be in relation to Jon, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. But the one thing I found really interesting is that they moved the God's Eye very close to King's Landing in the opening.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to see that, but apparently there's a set that we haven't seen yet. And I know that King's Landing is Burton. We got the House of the Undying thing happening. But what if we see, Helena, I'm going to throw something crazy out there. What if we get a red wedding committed by the Starks in the final episode?
So Dany and Jon getting married, and what do you mean?
Something on that level.
And then Sansa sends her regards.
Something crazy like that. I'm just, it's complete tinfoil, everyone. But I'm just throwing it out there. Right? And I talked about this in my video today, in my video yesterday, and another video. I talked about this a few times now. Back in the Battle of the Blackwater, Varys and Tyrion have a conversation. And Varys says, I've always hated bells. They ring for horror, they ring for a dead king, and they ring for a city under siege. Tyrion replies, a wedding, and Varys says, exactly. I'm not saying that that's foreshadowing what I'm saying. Like, I think it's more in relation to the purple wedding and the red wedding. But I'm just saying the bells, that was the last episode title, everyone. So I'm just throwing it out there. I think we're going to see a crazy ass twist in the next episode.
How long is the episode, though? Is it also
82 minutes, I think?
Okay.
Yeah. Barton, did you make 2 donations of the same donation, man?
Yeah.
People seem to be doing that. So, Barton, if you have a second question or you want to nominate someone from the chat, mods, Can you check that out? Just make sure that we get that. Let's answer. So Tracy, I haven't forgot about your donation. So hyped you'll be doing The Expanse. Let's do a little story time. I got, and I did that voice for a reason. I got to party with Cass Anvar and Dominique Tipper. I'm not usually allowed to name dropping. I'm not usually allowed to talk about too much.
It's fine.
I'm not usually allowed to talk about a lot of this kind of stuff because if you get press passes to an event, you have to sign documents, and there's all sorts of stuff that has to go down. But got approved for press passes at DragonCon again, by the way. JR is going to be joining me this year. But at the press party last year, Cass Anvar, who plays Alex, the pilot in The Expanse, and also Dominique Tipper, who plays Naomi Nagata, I got to party with them and chat science fiction, Star Wars. We talked about the hero's journey in Game of Thrones. So awesome. I got to have conversations with them and had a couple beers with them. So I thank you, Dan Carroll, for approving us at DragonCon and for letting me in that party last year. That was rad as fuck. So, but yeah, I'm going to be covering The Expanse. And speaking of The Expanse, Blackfire, who's been on the channel, will be on this Friday. And by the way, we have a new guest coming on Friday, another content creator, Happy Cool. They're going to be coming on. Sandrine from Happy Cool is going to be coming on with me on Friday with Blackfire. So we're going to be doing some Expanse stuff. Me, Blackfire, maybe Aziz from History Westeros, and the Shea, so and JR. So Expanse, hell yeah! I'm ready to get down and cover some new stuff, and show what I can do with some new shows. Helen, let's get to Barton's question. Can you see it in the side chat?
Sorry, I'm chatting with people doing Google Translate German. Yeah. Do you think is that the last one? Do you think all of the houses that received Barry's message? Is that one?
Yeah, no, it's Barton sent that one twice by accident. So we'll try to get another question, but we'll answer that.
Yeah,
one.
I can read it out twice for you if you want to.
No,
make
no,
you
no,
money. No. Do you think all of the houses that received Barry's message will make their way down to King's Landing in support of Jon Aegon Targaryen claiming the Iron Throne? If so, how would you write that scene? Oh my God, where I'm writing now.
Geez, yeah. So Varys burns the one letter, right? And obviously they come in and arrest Varys, and we talked about this like right at the beginning of the stream, Helen, that the idea when Helen is when Varys is talking to Martha, he says Helen was in the fucking episode.
My dream is to be in Lord of the Rings, by the way. I'm working on that because my friend she knows one of the people working there, and I want to be an elf on Lord of the Rings. People, make it happen.
Me and you are both pale enough to do that. So
yeah,
except I had to shave my beard and look like a child. So this.
Yeah. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
So yeah. So Varys definitely got his letter out. I think it got out to Dorne. I think that's just like a fast way to fast track stuff in the show, I think, because they announced the new Prince of Dorne. When they had the council meeting with Daenerys, they had the kind of like the painted table version in Winterfell. They were moving all the stuff over. They talked about the Prince of Dorne. So Dorne is going to be involved. Yara is going to be saved until the very end, which kind of sucks because I thought that she might be involved in the last episode. But how is this scene going to go down? Well, here's the thing. Like, Sansa released that information to Tyrion willingly. I don't think she's that dumb. What do you think about that, Helen? Like she said that to Tyrion, she knows, right? Like she knew that Tyrion was going to tell Varys.
Yeah, of course. She knew.
And then that forced Varys to send out the fucking letters.
Yeah, she's portrayed as the new Littlefinger, 100%. And he always started shit like she does.
Look at their direct results. Sansa tells Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tyrion tells Varys. Varys sends out letter. Varys gets burned alive. Varys sends out letters to the realm. So Sansa affected Varys sending out letters to the realm. So Sansa had a direct impact in that.
Yeah, and you know what? It was like in season 1 when we learned that the letters were sent out when Ned found out about the kids not being Baratheons. It was the same. It's exactly the same situation we have here.
What's crazy about the whole Jon, Arya, Bran, Sansa conversation is Jon waited long enough that Ned's honor was scot-free. It's because we heard Jon talk about Ned and how he was the person that he admired the most, Helen. But in that conversation, he was like, okay, Ned's free of this. He took this secret to the grave. Bran gave him the path to be the one to tell them that he learned from Sam and Bran, right? Because Bran was like, you can tell them. But Bran gave him the option, which I thought was really interesting. But like in that scenario, like remember the stuff we got last season with Littlefinger? We all thought that Sansa and Arya were at odds. Everyone's like, Sansa's gonna betray Jon. Like, Sansa never betrayed Jon. And this move, although it puts Jon in danger, she's still trying. Like, Sansa will kill Daenerys if it means saving Jon. Are you fucking kidding? Like, they care about Jon stuff. I think that Sansa and Bran and Arya had a conversation again, kind of like we're seeing another Littlefinger situation play out.
Yeah,
like how they executed it.
Yeah.
So Helen's in agreement.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people in the chat are saying Sansa is a new Littlefinger. She's playing 4D chess, and it's true.
Sansa finger. Yeah.
Sansa finger, exactly. And another one of my crazy theory, what is it? Wednesday.
Wacky
Wednesday. So if she would marry, because I think she doesn't want to marry, but she won't end up. I don't think she'll be like the lone ruler of the North, because there has to be somebody who has kids, and it can only be her. Arya won't do it. Bran is useless. He's watching whatever. He's watching the past, Pornhub past. And so it's only Sansa who can, retain the Stark line. So she needs to marry somebody. Wouldn't it be so cool if she would marry that little weirdo kid, the Valley kid?
Fuck that so much.
I call him the Valley kid. And my theory is he is Littlefinger's kid. So she would marry Littlefinger's kid. That would be so cool.
You know, it'd be really funny is if he's all jacked and hunky in the next episode, and they're like, Sansa is one of my favorite characters. I went to bat for her a bunch. Obviously, she's done some shady shit, but she's got a big role to play in the final episode. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Original David Adams says, you missed a super chat. I'm very sorry, Paisley. Paisley Nicole sent a $2 super chat and says, asking you if Sansa would be able to take the throne and if she would be a good queen. Well, like we just talked about, I certainly think that she's going to have an impact in that. And she had a direct result in a lot of the things that happened with Tyrion and Varys. Like, Tyrion released Jaime. That's of his own volition, but still, Sansa, they had conversations in the crypts. And in the first episode of the season, Sansa was like, I used to believe you were the most clever man in the Seven Kingdoms. And the most interesting thing about that conversation is like, Bran's Raven is like listening behind in the window, and then Bran's like looking at Tyrion all creepily after. So Sansa obviously knows that Bran is like super powerful. They got another plan going down. House Stark master plan to take the throne.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. And what we're seeing too, Helen, is like Fire and Blood, the Dance of Dragons, the Hour of the Wolf in King's Landing, when Cregan Stark went down there, executed people, and then got the fuck out of there, married a Blackwood, and he was like, yo, I'm out of here, you guys handle your shit. We're seeing another end of the Dance of the Dragons in a sense, kind of, because Jon and Dany, like in the books, Aegon and Dany are going to have an issue, right? But in the show, we didn't have that character, so we're kind of seeing the remnants of that plot line.
You mean the Fagon?
Yeah, Fagon. Yeah,
Fagon. Yeah.
And Varys was a supporter of that. A big part of that plot line in the book.
Yeah. So what was the question? Sorry, what's that question?
No, just like who's gonna let's talk about this. Who's gonna have the throne if there is a throne in the end? I don't think there's gonna be a throne, but council, who is gonna be the leader? I think it's gonna be Tyrion.
Well, I think we will see a council. I think that's because that's what we saw in episode 1, and I think a lot of it's like a circle, and we come back to episode 1 in a lot of ways. And I think there'll be a council discussing who's the best leader. And I think they will ask Jon, and Jon will be like, no, I have to pet ghosts. I have to go to the north. Bye-bye. See you never. Maybe he rides there with the last dragon who's alive. And
hold on. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. and then the council has to discuss again. And who's left? I don't think Danny will execute
Brienne.
Tyrion. Yeah, I think Tyrion will live. A lot of people are saying Gendry, because Baratheons are actually Targaryens, right?
Well, he's kind of the embodiment of the Smith. So we like the Faith of the Seven. If we look at the history and lore, it kind of looks like a table, like and connecting to different parts of the table. We could see like an iron table, like I've discussed, the Iron Throne getting melted down, and we seeing some sort of Arthurian-esque thing go down. But if we think about it, like cripples, bastards, and broken things, Helen, Brienne is not seen as the prototypical. She's a female knight. She's not looked at as particularly like her features aren't are more masculine, so that's why she's teased. So Brienne, Yara, like the culture of the Iron Islands is very masculine driven. Yara. We'll see Sansa.
Fuck the water people, though. Yeah. I mean, Sansa would be epic. In the first season, she said, "I just want to be queen." So maybe it's her. But then again, I think she wants to be in the north, because who's ruling the north? Bran doesn't want to, because who the fuck?
I don't really want. But do you think that, like, because Tyrion, a very small man, can cast a large shadow. Like, I think that Tyrion's going to be ending up being the main person in power in King's Landing. Like, not
but not as a king. He won't be
a hand.
Not as a king.
So he'll be an influencer, right? He'll be an influencer.
Yeah, I mean, in Lord of the Rings, we had the Return of the King, so there is a king, and I'm
John the Reluctant King.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't see him
Aragorn accepted his role. He was a Strider before, but then he accepted his faith, and he was like, okay, well, now apparently I have to do it. Jon is not that figure. He just isn't. And either, as you always said, the throne will be, like melted.
Like the One True Ring. They have a lot in common, the power concept.
Yeah, and he will be melted, and then it's just each one on their own, like it was before the Targaryens, because actually the Targaryens are done. No more Targaryens. So maybe Westeros will be like it was before the Targaryens, right?
What's really interesting too is if we look at the Lord of the Rings comparison, the Numenor concept, the White Tree of Numenor and Aragorn coming from there, the same kind of thing, this Pompeii-esque catastrophic event happened in Numenor. And what we're going to see, Helen, is we're going to actually see Numenor in the Lord of the Rings show. So we're going to see the person the person who became Sauron in that armor. We're going to see that elf, the person who became corrupted. Are we going to see that person, you think?
Anatar, you mean? Yeah, the giver. Well, we have second aid. The people who know me, I have 3 videos ready, which I'll drop after this season. I think so. I mean, they mentioned a lot. I think we won't see the downfall of Numenor, but what happened after.
So David Adams has pointed out a couple things. He's the original moderator on the channel. David, what? Let's show some love for the mods. The mods of this channel. You guys and gals know how important to me it is to respect each other in the chat, to be nice to one another. And David Adams, the original David Adams, Christy of Oldstone, specifically Fearless Mermaid, a lot of the awesome mods in the channel have been awesome. So
Mandolin, John Haymaker, myself. Mia, Ice and Fire. Yeah. There's so many. George is still here. George is still going strong with his the wave theories in the chat.
So we love the mods, but one thing, like David's brought up a couple things. So one thing is David always sends me super chats that I miss. I'm not perfect, of course. We miss stuff. But he said Stephanie LeBlanc says, new in the chat, new sub shout out. If you see this while on stream, David says, shout her out. Stephanie LeBlanc and anyone that's new in chat. Let's do some more shout outs, because I'm gonna check out some people. Doomboy, what's going on?
Where's everybody from? Let's ask this question.
Yeah, let's go insane. Where are you from?
That.
Michelle. UK Jim, some new people I'm seeing in the chat. Wyatt, where are you from? Because literally, I think our record was like 70 countries one time. It was insane. So where are you from in chat? Phantom D Saint, Princeton wasn't promised. Tubbs, where are you from? Put where you're from in chat.
Well, we know that. They're from New York.
New York.
Area.
That's where dreams are made of. But here, we're David Adams has a question, and Christy of Oldstone, quad beats. I got that question.
Oh my God, it's going fast. Sweden, Greece, Canada, Houston, Madrid, London, Denmark, Texas, Ohio, Omaha. Oh my God. Yay, Maryland, California. I love California. Paraguay. The fuck. Seattle. A lot of Texas people in here. Puerto Rico, Massachusetts,
Serbia,
Lancashire,
Brazil, Nigeria, Portugal, Australia, Mexico,
Miami.
Sri Lanka.
Welcome to Miami. New
Istanbul,
Jersey.
Romania,
Netherlands, Romania, Australia, Pittsburgh, Brazil. I love that people, some are just putting the countries in and some are just like regions, cities,
India, wow, Spain, Louisiana, Costa Rica. We love this, by the way.
Yeah, Kansas, New Jersey.
So, but David Adams has an awesome question, and I'm going to talk about this still in the video.
It's not stopping.
I know it's not. but he said Bran 1000% can see the future. Bran's vision after the Hold the Door and in season 4 came true. He saw a dragon flying over King's Landing, and that was Daenerys headed for Cersei Lannister in the Red Keep. That came true. Bran knew about that shit, people. But he can't just say everything to people and say, like, hey, this is going to happen, because it'll affect people's decisions, right? Like, oh, they might change their minds about something that they might be deciding to do in the future. So I think
it's like Back to the Future, right?
Yeah.
Like in the movie.
But this chat is insane, by the way, 1,700 people. Christy of Oldstone says, we missed a question. I'm going to get quad beats. Boom, 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 boom. That's
somebody's from beyond the wall.
That's a quad beatbox right there. My cue is whoever takes over the throne needs an heir. Who wants to have an heir?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I think that Jon is the last Targaryen.
Yeah.
Because the Maester Aemon shit's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Tyrion is the Lannister. Like, there's going to be a lot of
the thing is, in the books, let's a minute give love to the books. So, I mean, there are all these theories out there. Are Jaime and Cersei Targaryens? Is Tyrion a Targaryen? What did the Mad King and Joanna Lannister, what did they do? Did they shag? Is there a baby? It's weird.
Yara, because Theon couldn't reproduce. She's still alive.
Yeah.
People are saying Tyrion is Targaryen. I mean, that's kind of been an interesting thing. He had an interaction with the dragon.
Yeah, and George Martin, he loves genetics just as Tolkien does. Like, Tolkien describes races by their eyes are blue, their hair is dark, they are pale, whatever. And George R. Martin, he kind of loves this stuff. And well, it's foreshadowed a little bit, and it's interesting. So maybe in the books, they're more Targaryens, right?
Ooh, Steel Rain has an amazing question in chat.
Yeah,
Bran and Tyrion's conversation, that's cut off. What did Tyrion learn about Bran? But what did Bran say to Tyrion? Did Tyrion learn that he's a Targaryen? Now, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think Bran would reveal that. Maybe it's revealed at the end or something. That he could be because what would be really interesting is this dynamic, because the conversation between Jon Snow and Tyrion. You're a bastard, Jon Snow, wear it like armor. Like, he tells him to wear it like armor. But wouldn't it be interesting if Jon is royalty and Tyrion is a bastard? just fucking saying that's the kind of shit that George likes to do. So
yeah, and they talked in the first season. They talked to each other, and Tyrion was giving him like the head up. Yeah, you're a bastard, but who the fuck cares?
Yeah, people are still going where they're from in the chat. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I asked myself, there must be something, right? Why would they have shown us this scene, though? I'm thinking about it. By the way, like the second episode was my favorite. So what was your favorite episode?
Ever of Game of Thrones?
No. In this season, in this run. From the 5 we saw so far.
Well, episode 2 was the best.
Yeah, the 2, right?
That's one of the top 5 episodes of the whole series.
Well, I mean, I couldn't see the 3rd one, so I don't know about the 3rd one. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And apparently my new 4K, I got everything.
Yeah, we got like a middle of the road TV, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, well, I have a really good one, and I couldn't see shit, so I was
let's ask the chat, Helen, what they think.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying 2. 5. Some are saying 5. Was it just because it was lit?
I really like. Christy says I don't 3. Yeah, I think that the last episode was really good. I think that episode 5 was really good too. I think that, you know, obviously people's expectations were like they didn't want this to happen to Daenerys, so people were upset. So I think a lot of people are upset about that. People are saying episode 6. I think episode 6 is going to be insane. Really insane. I think episode 6 is going to have some parts of 5 with the insanity, but also parts of 2 with the kind of epilogue-esque.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have, it's going to be, there's only fucking 1 episode left, man.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm going to cry, everyone.
Well, we have the prequels, sequels, whatever. Prequels, right? Prequels,
Blood Moon, apparently.
Blood Moon, yeah. It's like 5,000 years pre this thingy.
Let's talk about this because the castings are amazing.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, they tease a lot in this episode, which they will never in episode 6. They will never reveal. So it might be revealed in the prequels, right?
Like it's definitely going to be. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, listen. You think HBO makes like billions of dollars, okay? You think they don't know? Like they have like sharks who straight up are in brainstorming sessions who are like, okay, this is how we keep HBO as the best TV network. Do you think they're not thinking about how to move forward without like, oh, Game of Thrones, we don't have that anymore. We're fucked. Like they're totally thinking about that shit. They totally have exit plans. They have 5 years of plans already discussed. Like, and you know, people are like, oh yeah, it's gonna be oversaturated. I honestly think the prequels are gonna be amazing because okay, we saw kind of towards the end with the last 2 seasons that we don't have a lot of the book material, but Jane Goldman, I'm telling you, man, she knows mythology, kick-ass. Kingsman, she's awesome. But the fact that we don't have the books and we're going into a blind together, I think, and George maybe having some more gardening in that, I think the prequels are going to be awesome, personally.
Yeah, I think so too. And the thing is, you know, you don't have that much from the book, so they are very free with the storytelling and with characters and everything. So we don't have like a story set up in our mind, and we are just open to what they tell us, and I think it will be good. I'm excited for this, actually.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you got a really good donation.
Big Ed, man. Okay, let's do this.
Baltimore. Wait, I know Baltimore Ravens. Is that a thing? Or did I imagine this? Because I had to watch the Super Bowl like with JR and everyone.
Big Ed, this is for you, my man. I'm breaking it down, my dancing. Big Ed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Baltimore's awesome. Great areas from Baltimore, I believe. Shout out from Baltimore. No question, just spreading the love. So irritated that I'm not sure I want to know how D&D are going to end what has become just a pure special effects extravaganza. I totally get what you're saying, man. But I will still watch everyone's breakdown videos. The fact that Ed has just made a $50 donation, just state, hey, everyone, this is how it's going down. This is how I'm doing it. I love that. And, you know, like I said, Helen, we announced earlier in this stream that I made a promise. Hype and love. You how many times have everyone's heard me say this? I promised all of you that I would make my best effort to analyze what I can as best as I can. It's not always perfect, by the way. I don't think I'm the best creator, by the way. I don't. But I'm going to give my spin on things. And I think that there's still time to discuss things. Like, I mean, We still got the finale. Things aren't going to get answered. We still got to talk about things. There's still the books. That's just how I see it. And I don't know about all of you in chat, but that's how I rock it. So that's the answer that you're getting from me.
A lot of people are saying, I'm not going to watch D&D Star Wars. People, chill. I think it will be better than anything Ryan Johnson does, but that's just me. Because, I don't hate anything in the world, and hate is ugly. And I don't want to be ugly, but The Last Jedi was shit.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do, Helen. We're gonna wrap up the stream. We got about 5-6 minutes left. History of Westeros, good friends of ours, are currently live.
Aziz and Ashaya. What are they doing?
They're doing a book show. So it's Aziz, Lady Gwyn, and Joe Buckley. So they're gonna be live. I'm actually ripping this link right now so I can put it in the comment section. Christy, DTA, if you could grab them and start putting them in the comment section, that'd be really awesome. But let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Final kind of predictions for. We only got one episode left, Helen. Right?
Yep.
We owe it to everyone in the chat to kind of give our final thoughts on this. But overall, how do you think it's going to be wrapped up? Are you excited about the last episode? Final thoughts, theories, all that. Let's bring this all together.
Yeah. So the third and the last were always, because we knew from the beginning what the content would be, at least a little bit. We knew where would be the battles because of the directors, right? So third, but then it wasn't because it was dark. Third and last is always were always my favorite episode. So how is it going to be wrapped up? I think Sansa will come with lots of people to back up Jon. Jon will be like, but I don't want it. And
Jon Snow, know nothing, Jon Snow.
And Dany will do shit because she freaks out when she sees Sansa and the armies, and she thinks, now Jon really betrayed me, that bastard. And then she'll try to threaten, I don't know, Arya, Sansa, whoever. Jon has to make the choice, kill her. She'll die. Drogon will freak out. I don't know. And Jon will be like, I can't be king of the ashes, and leave. And I don't know. Then I do not know, because not Tyrion, not Sansa. I don't know. So Gendry or no one.
I'm gonna make this even more tragic, everyone.
So, oh my God, no! I'm screaming.
So Cersei told Jaime that she didn't want her baby to die in the last episode. So I think that Daenerys is pregnant, and Jon's not ever gonna know that by killing her. He's never gonna know that that she got Daenerys pregnant, and he's gonna kill her. And I think what's going to happen is this. I think Daenerys is probably going to try to execute Tyrion. It's going to be bad. And Arya is going to try to assassinate Daenerys. Her life's going to be put in danger by Grey Worm. Jon's going to kill Daenerys. And I think that what we're going to see is, damn, Jon's name, Aegon Targaryen, just like it's a factor in the end, but in the end, he never really wanted that. It goes back to a lot of the things that Ned Stark talked about. And we're going to think about a lot of these small connections that have been
from the beginning. Exactly.
I think that it's going to be but with that
said, Bran, what about so the Bran thingy? Because we talked about that a lot. We said it can't be just him flying a raven.
I think that the three-eyed raven, they're gonna hint something about the three-eyed raven. And let me throw this out there. So the wall was built, but what if the three-eyed raven, that cave, was actually a prison for the three-eyed raven to keep him up there? So I think that there's going to be something revealed with the three-eyed raven, maybe. I think that they're going to see more sinister intentions in Game of Thrones prequel with the Children of the Forest. And the start, we see all of these families and characters make these decisions that ultimately are they're trying to survive. But I think that we're going to find out that House Stark is not as rosy as we thought they are. The White Walkers are not as bad as we thought they are. The Children of the Forest are a little bit more dangerous than we thought they were. Bloodraven, Bran may be trapped in the fucking past, stuff like that. And I think that we'll get small.
Yeah, because it's not black and white, right? And George R. R. Martin always said, like, the baddies, maybe some of their motives are good, and the good ones, maybe some of their motives are bad, and that's exactly what we saw.
And you know, like, everybody's pretty upset about the Daenerys Mad Queen thing, but this is totally a George thing. Okay, this is a George.
I'm convinced. Yeah.
I'm 1,000%. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No,
this is going to happen in the books, people.
Yeah,
Daenerys is going to do this.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the journey is going to be different. The setup, all the things that you read are going to make you feel differently about how you view it with your eye holes. But I think that I don't know. George said he doesn't have the books done. Barristan Selmy, the actor who plays Barristan Selmy, he's like, yeah, he has the books done. I don't know. I think that I have no idea when the books are going to be done. I hope they're out soon. When they come out, I'm going to cover the shit out of them.
Question about that. Last question. Do you think that because he's very perceptive of everything that happens, he's on Twitter a lot, he knows a lot what's going on. Do you think partly he changes his original ideas because people love Cersei so much? He loves Cersei. He loves the Sansa.
This was like a beta testing from George R. R. Martin to see what the fuck people would like.
Yeah. Why not?
George R. R. Martin's got this master plan, this huge secret that he's keeping like Ned Stark.
Yeah, but the thing is, I really think he's perceptive to everything that happens. He won't change the main plot. But a lot of things, you know, like the showrunners, they loved Bronn, the Bronn actor, so they kept him, and other things, like they made Cersei completely different, and because they loved Lena so much. And
I see what you're saying. So like Lyanna Mormont, she was only supposed to be in like one fucking episode.
Yeah, and I really think that George is having a close look at what is happening, and he might, I don't know, not really change, but he might adapt a few things here and there.
So we got a few more things to address before we send people over to History of Westeros. Christy of Olson says, Zora Hype, you missed another one. Russell Fulton, if Jon has to kill Dany, is that like a sacrifice for a brighter future? So that is Nisa Nisa. I think that is exactly what you're mentioning, Russell. And I think that Daenerys is Nisa Nisa. But I also think that she could be Azor Ahai. You know, like all these prophecies are jumbled, but I think that Jon he's the prince that was promised. I think that will be, we could see that revealed in some sort of flashback, maybe. I hope we get one more flashback, Russell.
Yeah.
Shannon, I'm upset Azor Ahai prophecy was deflated. I still think we're going to get a payoff for that in the next episode. Like Russell said, Midnight Predator, go on at the Game of Thrones got at the end, but we'll have a rewatch later. Okay, so she has to rewatch later. Have a good evening, Midnight Predator. Thank you very much. So we're going to end this stream. I'd love to continue doing this. It's late for Helen in Germany, and
we got to go to work. I have a CEO meeting tomorrow to present them all my trailers for Celebrity Big Brother.
But by the way, everyone, we have some great friends at the channel, people that I've got to stay with in Atlanta quite a bit. History of Westeros. I think they probably have the best. I personally think they have the best Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire podcasts. But that's up for you.
And do you know what, Kyle? This is how I got to the whole thingy, because I googled Doom of Valyria, and that was one of the best and first videos, and that's how I got into this community like years ago. I found that video on the Doom of Valyria, and that was my first ever geek YouTube video I watched from History of Westeros.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to spam the fuck out of this in the chat. We still got 1,500 people here watching, but they're live right now. So what I would love is they're having a discussion, so you don't need to say, "Hey, Azora Hype sent you" or anything like that. Well,
Helen sends you. Helen sends her regards. Tell that to Aziz. He will know.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep on spamming this in the chat, and mods, can you pick up and keep on continuing to post that for everyone that wants to continue with Game of Thrones discussions? I'm telling you, Aziz and who's on with them? Is Lady Gwyn? Lady Gwyn from Radio Westeros. Are you fucking kidding me? Go watch that shit. Lady Gwyn is amazing, and Joe Buckley. So that's gonna be in the comment section in the chat. Go check them out. They're live. But for me and Helen, thank you for watching us tonight. And of course, JR and Gemma, who are taking a break this evening. All the links to their stuff and the description of this video. All the art that's done on this channel, Blaze Manga, in the description of this video. So Helen,
where's my link? Clueless Fangirl. Please find me. Lord of the Rings videos will drop in 10 days.
So Helen's got some shit that's upcoming. Helen, thank you for joining me.
Fuck you. They're done.
So this is Helen, everyone, one of my best friends in the community. I'm Azora Hype. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button. I think, how many likes do we have? 346. We got 1,500 people still watching. We can get like 500 or something. I don't know. And if you want to support the channel, Patreon. I always do bonus content on Patreon. Helps me continue making videos full time. But thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to continue to spam the shit out of History of Westeros' link in the chat. But thanks for watching. And yeah, Sunday night, we're going live right after the episode. I'll see you there in the live chat.
Hype and love.
Actually, let's put some dance music on.
Oh, yay. Dance. Wait, I think I have still some champagne left. Yeah, I drink to Cersei, my favorite villain ever.